Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about relationships with your children, your grandchildren, your end of life. Because I think a lot of us are so busy being in the present moment, right? We're busy with work, we're busy with trying to cope with COVID, we're busy with trying to cope with whatever demands there are that people make on our lives in the immediate day. So have we really given enough sufficient attention to what it's going to be like once our kids have grown up, or once our COVID issues are all settled? What is life going to be like in the next 20-30 years? Now, one thing you have to assess is your financial situation. Of course, that one goes without saying, but financially, by that time, usually we are all more stable, more comfortable, hopefully lah. So the one thing that we tend to be more concerned about is, will my children provide for me? Will I live with my child? Will I have grandchildren to play with? I think first of all, I need to bring you back to a few points to teach you how to see a few points on what your end of life condition is going to be like. When I say end of life, I don't mean your dying months lah. I mean your retirement years. Okay. So first of all, you need to look at your rising sign. Your rising sign is determined by your time of birth and the geographical location where you were born at the time of your birth. Okay. So if you're not sure, then you can go down to cafeastrology.com, put in your birth details. It will generate a Western astrology chart for you. Now, based on that chart, you look at the 9 o'clock position. That is your rising sign. So once you have determined your rising sign, you need to look at it and see what kind of person you are. Like, for example, if you are a rising in Capricorn, then you are someone who is always working. Chinese call it lao ru ming. Okay, there is no retirement for you. Not because you are poor, but simply because you're not used to sitting down without having anything to do. So that's the first point. You look at the rising sign. After looking at the rising sign, you want to look at your house 4. If you have any sign on house 4, which you will have actually, if you have any planets in house 4, it will help you determine the conditions of your retirement years. So if you have Mars there, or if you have Aries there, then it means that you are very active. Active is good, yeah, in your old age. Active means you are busy doing something always. You are contributing to society. You're living your life. You're living a purposeful life and not just wasting air and space. Now, if you have Venus in house 4, for example, Venus is peace, ma. So your retirement years are very peaceful and very nice one, very enjoyable. So you look at the contents of house 4 to see the conditions of your end of life period. Again, end of life means retirement. Then we proceed to your house 7. House 7 is the relationship that you will have with your grandchildren, because house 7 is grandparents. House 9 is grandchildren. Okay, so you need to see what's inside those houses. Now, if you have house 7, if you have the moon in house 7, then it means that you're very attached to your grandparent. So of course, you look at your own chart, it's pointless. You look at your children's chart or your grandchildren's chart. You want to know what kind of relationship you have with them. So if you're looking to see what kind of relationship you're going to have with your grandkids, then you need to look at your own house 9, because house 9 is grandchildren, from you to them. If you want to see your grandchildren's response to you, then you see house 7, because house 7 is grandparent to them. Okay, that means their house 7, and you see your house 7 for additional info, but the key point is their house 7. If you want to see your relationship with your grandchildren, how you respond, you're taking ownership, your response, you look at house 9. So if let's say you have Pluto in house 9 represents relationship with your grandchildren. It also represents your relationship with your in-laws. It also represents relationship with your God. So I say your God because religion is a very personal thing. Spirituality is also a very personal thing. So it has your God. Okay, it can be the Muslim God, the Christian God, the Buddhist God. It doesn't matter. it's seen in house 9. So if you have a benefic planet inside there, like for example the Sun, or you have Venus, then or Jupiter, then they are very nice, happy-go-lucky kind of relationship. But if you have a malefic planet inside there, like Pluto or Saturn, then you need to brace yourself for some difficulty in that relationship, because it's all about power struggles, it's all about control. So since it's your chart and you have this planet in your chart, then you need to do the necessary action. You need to back off. Don't try to control people. Don't try. They may be young, they may be your grandkids, but it's not for you to control them. Okay? So as long as you are able to adopt the let go approach to letting people have the space to grow and come to conclusions, then your relationship with the people represented in house 9 will be better. Okay? So today we've covered end of life. We have covered relationship with your grandchildren. Yeah, because end of life, usually people are bouncing grandkids on their knees. Now the other thing before we end today's session is I want to look at literally end of life. That means your how you die. Now in astrological studies, we don't usually calculate when you die, because the human brain is quite subjective. If I tell you will die on your 50th birthday, then you will die on your 50th birthday. Okay? So for us, we don't look at when you die usually. We do look at how you die. So how do you see how you die? You take a look at house 8. If you have no planets in house 8, then you need to look at a sign that's at the cusp of house 8. If you have planets inside there, understand that the planetary placements there will give you an indication of your physical condition at the time of your passing. Okay? So if let's say you have got Saturn there, Saturn in house 8. Now yesterday we learned that Saturn in house 8 is very limiting beliefs, right? So with Saturn in house 8, you are also clinging to life. So it's a lot like the resource factor. People whose Bazi have a lot of resource factor, very hard to die. People with a lot of earth especially young earth in the Bazi, also very hard to die. So people with Saturn in house 4 or house 8, right, they cling on. They don't let go. So even when it's time to go, right, they will still cling on. So it's quite difficult lah. Because here's the reality. You can say it's in my Bazi, so I'm just going to cling on lah. But 何必这么辛苦? Why make so difficult for yourself? Because if your body cannot stay, means your body cannot stay. You want to change your fate, right? You do it way before you are sick. You don't wait until the shit hits the fan and then you start looking for toilet paper. Now COVID, very hard to find toilet paper, no? So what you do is first of all, you look to see what is in your house 8 right now. So let's say you die of a heart attack. Let's say you have the Sun inside your house 8. You die of a heart attack. So, well, that's pretty straightforward, right? The next step, you need to go and find out what is in your lifestyle, your diet, what are your lifestyle choices, what is it that you're drinking that's contributing to this death. Because your heart, unless you're born with deformities, which were from birth, that means genetic unless you're missing one valve or your ventricle don't close or your heart is like half a heart those cannot be corrected unless through surgery. But even then, some of the time they will not correct. But your lifestyle contributes a lot to it. So if you die by a heart attack, you need to work backwards and implement those changes to make your heart stronger. Now it doesn't mean that when you die, you don't die of a heart attack. You still die of a heart attack. It's just a question of when. So because you have taken steps, then obviously you don't die when you are supposed to die. You will live longer usually. So again, like I said, the chart is just an indication. It's just a guide. Nothing is written in cement. Okay? So today I have already covered for you end of life so that you can prepare for yourself. Because some of us, you can have aspirations or hopes of living with your child or having grandchildren to bounce on your knee, but some of us don't have that so-called luck. Some of us don't have that life. So it's good to be realistic. Yeah, some of us may don't say having grandchildren. Maybe today you're not even married, lor. Yeah, so if you're not married, then chances of you having grandchildren, if you want to go the traditional route, is pretty slim, right? So you need to know what's in store for you in your old age so that you can plan. Like for instance, if you know you're going to be active, then the next thing you need to make sure is your body is healthy, so that you're not plagued by pains and aches and you can't take care of yourself. And then now with period 9 coming in the picture, it's about vision problems, right? Eye problems, right? So you want to make sure that, you know, your eyesight is good. You want to make sure you have enough money to last you through your old years, right? So these are things you need to plan for, and that is why today we talked about end of life. Okay? So take some time out, go look through your own chart, see what information is used to you so that you can make decisions for your life. Take charge. Don't play victim. Okay?